Hey guys, Mr. Zigner here. We're going to be looking at creating an emulator for um, a lottery. In this case, it'll be a Pick 6 lottery. And this is an assignment for my students here in my computer class. So this first step would be to either click right here in this gray cell above the number 1, or if you hold down Control and tap A, that'll highlight all cells. And my students should be used to this because I like to create some defaults of our own instead of just taking what Google gives us. The first thing I would like for my students to do is pick a new font, whatever you like. Try out Cabin here. Let's go with a size of about 12. No, you know what? We're going to go really big this time. Let's do 18. I would love to center all of the things we're going to be putting in the spreadsheet. So if you come right here to this horizontal alignment and choose center, and gosh, anything else while we're here? You know what? That right here next to horizontal alignment is vertical alignment. And we're going to be stretching these cells out, and you'll see why it was good for us to move things to the middle. Alrighty. So next thing would be to come back in between the letter A and B. And I only want to have room for about 6 columns. So I'm just going to move this out. And the 6th letter of the alphabet is, of course, F. And looks like I've stretched out too far. So I'm going to come back in between the letters A and B. When I get my double arrow, I click and hold and drag back in. I can see F, but I don't see the whole column F. So let's back it up a little more. And maybe back out a little more. There we go. That looks pretty good. I can see all of A through F. We only need to see the first 5 rows, so now I'm going to come in between the 1 and the 2 on the left side and drag down. Let's see if, well, we can see 6. That's pretty good. Here I can stretch it just a tiny bit more. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right. Now, I'm just going to click here on C1 and drag over to D1. We're going to merge those cells. So hitting merge, and that allows those cells to become one larger cell. And I'd like for my students to type Pick 6 Lottery Emulator. And you can see not only are the words centered from left to right, but since we clicked middle right here, it also centers those words from top to bottom in the middle of our cell here. Alrighty, how about let's put maybe a nice little background, a fill color behind that. I'm going to go with this this light orange color. Alrighty, now below that, I'd like to merge these 2 cells also. And here we're going to put lottery ticket. So this is where we're going to create our 6 lucky numbers, hopefully lucky. And behind this cell, I'd like to, let's see, a lottery ticket. If I recall correctly, they're like a yellowish color. So maybe like yellow. We're also going to highlight and make these the same color, yellow. That looks pretty good. And while we're at it, I'd like for my students to put a border box around all those cells. So here's our borders. And now before we just click all borders, here's a thought. Let's actually change the color. Now I used yellow, so what if we used like this dark yellow? Almost looks like a burnt orange. And we're going to increase the thickness of the border lines. And then finally we choose all borders. And there we go. So we've got that very dark, almost brown color, I guess, is what that looks like. Let's create some lucky numbers here. So I'm just going to randomly pick some numbers. Hopefully they'll be lucky. How about 2? Oh my goodness. How about 17? Maybe 20 and 23. Oh goodness. 33 and, oh, I don't know. How about 44? We'll stick to the repeating digits. Let's see. Hopefully those will be lucky numbers. All right. Now let's merge the 2 cells in the middle below those, and that would be C4 and D4. So once again, we're going to merge, and this will be our winning, and I'm going to put that in quotes because we're not really winning anything. winning, numbers. All right, all in quotes there. Why don't we throw a fill color? Gosh, I don't know. If we win money, right? So maybe I'll make this a green color. Okay. And did that change my font? Did I do something else there? It almost looks... Oh, I clicked the filter. I'm going to turn off that filter. There we go. I must have turned on some sort of filter, and I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Okay, let's make these cells the same color, green. Let's see if we can find that again. I think it was this one. Yep. All right, and now while these are highlighted, and I accidentally unhighlighted them, let's do our borders again. But now let's see, since we were doing green, let's do a super dark green. So way down here. We should have the same thickness. Yep, that's already set. And there we go. Boy, this is building rather quickly. All right, so if you click on A5, we're going to put in the one formula that we need right now, and that is equals RAND. Now, the first four letters of random brings up these three choices. This lets you choose between 0 and 1. This creates an array of numbers. And this is what we actually want, just a random number in between two other values. So rand between. Now how you set up this formula is you put in the low number, then a comma, then the highest number. Now, I forget if I already mentioned this, but the New Jersey Pick 6 uses numbers between 1 and 49. So there we go. So it's equals rand between, in parentheses, 1 comma 49. And that should randomly pick numbers for us from 1 to 49. Let me press enter, and I got a 24. Oh, darn it, that doesn't match any of my numbers up here, so I'm already not doing well. But that's okay. So I'm going to click on that cell again. Now, I don't know if you see it, but right down here in the bottom right corner of cell A5 is a little blue box. So I'm going to hover over top of that blue box until I get my cursor turns into like a little, what would you call it, like a plus sign or a little cross. All right. As soon as it turns into that, I'm going to click and hold on it. And I'm going to drag that little plus sign all the way across to F5, and then I let go. And what that did is it copy pasted that formula into all the other cells, so I don't have to keep retyping that same formula over and over and over. All right. Well, let's see how lucky I was. All right. So are there any 2s down here? No. 17s? No. 20? No. 23? No. 33? No. And 44, I didn't do so well. Now, one thing I tell my students, if the random number generator creates 2 of the same numbers, it's okay with me if you hit refresh again and get a new set of random numbers that don't have repeating digits, because in the real New Jersey Pick 6, you would not have repeating digits. They actually print the numbers on little ping pong balls, and there's only 1 of each one. But that's up to the person. You can keep those if you want, or you can refresh the page and get a new set of random numbers. All right, so now on to another step of this. Down here where it says sheet 1, if you click the down arrow next to it, I would like my students to change the color of this page. So I'm going to just orange. And you can see this little orange bar showed up at the bottom. The second thing I would like to do is actually name this page of this Google Sheet. And we're going to hit rename right here. Alrighty, so let's call this our Lottery Emulator. There we go. So we've named our first page. But now I'd like to create a second page for our results. So if you hit the plus sign, we can add an extra sheet. Once again, why don't we, while we're at it, change the color, anything you like. Maybe throw a blue color at the bottom. You can see this is orange, this is blue. And now also rename. And this one I would just call, how about just results? There we go. All right, now you might think, now that I'm here, oh my gosh, all the things we just made are gone. No, they're not. That's actually just a different page. So if I click here, there's our lottery emulator that we built a few moments ago. So I want to go to results. And on the results page, here's the columns I would like my students to make. So this first one is the trial. So we're going to do some trials here. Results out of 6. So how many numbers out of 6 did we get lucky and get? And this is going to be, in quotes, the money won. All right, and we'll see if we win any pretend money here. Again, for my students, you know what I like here. We're going to highlight the whole spreadsheet. Another way of doing that is hitting Control A. Go with a new font again. Just change it away from the default of Arial. Just choose Gothic, Century Gothic. We don't have to make this very big, maybe 12. I love to center everything here. So here's my horizontal alignment. So I'm going to center all those words. And that's pretty good. Now, let's see, how about we just do, I don't know, just for this, I may do more trials in class. So my students that I'm doing this for in this video that you're watching, I may say I want to do more trials, maybe like 5 or 10. But for now, let's just try 3 trials. So I'm just going to type 1, 2, 3, just to make the video not too long. But I may ask my students to go further, like 5 or 10 trials. But let's put some border boxes around that. So I'm going to highlight this whole little table that I've created. We're going to make it look like something right out of a math book. So how about we change our color one more time? Oh, maybe blue. And it's still on super thick. That's nice. And there we go. So we have some borders around that. For my students in class, you'll find out that under trial, I wanted you to do a fill color of a light red. And on results, I wanted a light blue. And on money 1, let's see, money is green. Our bills are green, so how about we put a light green there? There we go. That should pretty much look like what I'll do in class. All right, so now let's come over here to the emulator, and I'm going to hit refresh. Now it turns out, however, before I hit refresh, every time I make a change on this page, it does automatically refresh our winning numbers, because we did use the formula right here, random between. But another way to get new random numbers is just to click the refresh button. All right, here we go. Let's give that a couple seconds to load, and looks like it's done. All right, here we go. So 2, oh, we got a 2, so I have one number. 17, nope. 20, yes. Oh, I have 2 numbers. 23, no. 33, no, and 44, no. So on our results page, looks like I got 2 out of 6 numbers. Turns out you don't win anything for 2 numbers. So I'll share the winning amount numbers, but just so the people who are watching this video know, you need at least 3 numbers to match to win anything. And I think that's $2 or $3. Then it jumps to 50 some dollars, I think, if you get 4 numbers. I think around 2,000 if you get 5 numbers, and then you win the jackpot, which is currently around 2 million if you get all 6 numbers, which is ridiculously hard to do. All right, now since I entered those numbers, the lottery emulator should have refreshed. Let's see if we have new numbers. Yep, these are new numbers. Let's see how I did this time. So 2, no. 17, no. You know what? I have 2 32s here. So the real lottery wouldn't have any matching numbers. So I'm going to hit refresh and see if we can get some fresh numbers here. All right, great. And I don't see any repeats. Nope, we look good. So here we go. 2, no 2s. 17. Oh, yes, we have a 17. 20. Oh, I have a 20. Oh, I'm doing well so far. 23. Darn it, no. 33, no. And 44, no. So once again, I got 2 numbers. So we'll type a 2 here, but again, you have to have 3 numbers to win any money, so I've won $0. One more time, can we get lucky? Okay, well, it did refresh. Yep, these are new numbers. Let's see if any of them match. 2, no. 17, no. 20, nope. 23, 33, no. 44, oh, darn it. So, well, that's just like the lottery really is. Most people lose. And I'm actually trying to show you a little bit here of why playing the lottery, for the most part and for most people, is a losing bet. So that's the basic idea of how I would like to set up this spreadsheet. And of course, you saw that we incorporated a whole bunch of different editing tools and formulas. Right here, what I finish with are 2 formulas. For results, I wanted the average number of results, like what was the average number of numbers, the average amount of winning numbers that we got during our test trials. So how you do that is equals average, and then we open the parentheses, and we want the average of these 3 cells, the ones that we actually put our results into. And so I got an average of 1.3 numbers right. So, because the one was 0, the others were 2. And in this cell, I'd like to put the sum. How much money did I win? So equals sum, okay, opening parentheses, the sum of these three numbers. Now 0 plus 0 plus 0, as you could guess, is still 0. But who knows, maybe some of my students will win some money, and this cell will add those all up for you. All right, so why don't we put a different fill color behind those, something I haven't used, and there we go. All right, how about we write here, this was the average numbers, and this was the money won. I don't really need that, but it's okay. All right, there we go. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.